Right. Red lights again. Well, and that green lava lamp in between. But yeah, red lights again because it's ranting time, baby. Right guys, I'm Golden Ninja Vlogspot here, and a video has dropped that I can only describe as pointless, baity, just straight up ignorance. And to say about it, I thought I'd do a video taking it apart. We have Garden Warfare 2 YouTuber Piig, competitive gaming channel mainly featuring Nintendo games and Plant vs Zombies. I know he's quite controversial in the community. He's sort of a notorious max rank from Garden Warfare 2. I've seen a few of his videos before. One of them I didn't think was so bad was his video about why Warner Hill's the worst maps. He had some good points about it, like spawn camping in the beginning, the defender boss not working properly, stuff like that. I'm not going to go into this one too much though, but he did a slander video that he's now taken down that I thought was awful. Throughout the whole time I was thinking to myself, what actually does this guy like then? That's nothing compared to whatever the hell this is, how Wolfy Playz destroyed the PVZ Garden Warfare 2 community. I mean, hey, I've got a bit of a sense of humour about the thumbnail at least. That wanted poster is pretty funny, not gonna lie. But that's where my plays of this pretty much ends. Of course, some of you might not have known about a video a guy called Hardly Harry did. I think it's called Why Wolf Was a Problem for the GW2 community, and the community set it alight. He basically got bullied off the platform, and yeah, fair play. So let's have a look at this then.
Oh, you're just a Wolfy geezer who agrees with everything he says.
Here's a video of me correcting his tier list. Here comes brain rot.
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I just want to go over why I think Garden Warfare 2 YouTuber is a threat to the casual meta of Garden Warfare 2.
Okay, he says casual meta first of all, which is like, this guy's known for being a competitive player. Yes, apparently there's competitive players in Garden Warfare 2, a game consisting of vegetables fighting the undead. I personally think it's kind of pathetic, but I guess, you know what, I'm not going to take that away from you though. If you want to have like competitive lobbies and stuff like that, that's fine. Like, just don't force feed it down the casuals' throats, you know?
Now, no hate to Wolfy Playz, but he is not the best player in the world.
Okay, he says no hate to Wolfy Playz. I'm calling horse on that. Literally, look at this title and thumbnail. And then what proceeds to go on about for the remaining 10 minutes.
The worst soldier! The worst Corn, every worst character. But in these videos, he doesn't have the optimal upgrade sets, he doesn't know any of the tricks, none of the tech for these characters, so he's just kind of blabbering out a whole bunch of bullshit.
Okay, first of all, who gives a about the tech and stuff? Secondly, he says he doesn't have the optimal upgrades. That was actually the point of the series. I think he did it from the second video onwards. He took all the upgrades off to see what the raw character was like. I mean, I could sort of see why that system would be a bit flawed, but like, these aren't really videos to be taken that seriously.
A lot of these are just plain out wrong. I think the worst offender is probably why Goalie is the best all-star. Goalie Star's a good character. He is far, far from the best all-star.
That one I do sort of agree with, to be honest. That might have been the only one he chose, and well, I don't think it's even in the top 3 of the class. Or probably even top 2.
I'm not trying to sound egotistical, but you should listen to my videos, either Beanie's videos, Whipping Boy's videos. I'm not just saying this stuff just because it's my opinion, and it's the right opinion. This is the world record spreadsheet for every character. I'm friends with everyone on here.
Okay, have you got your rib removed so you can perform fellatio on yourself or something? That is the vibe I got from that comment right there. Also, I brought up at the beginning how he's a competitive player, but if you go watch pretty much all of his videos, and he gets criticised for this a lot, and rightly so, he's always like gets pocketed the entire time by like 3 healers or whatever. Same for Beanie Be Fun, and he also uses a cheat. I don't know about Piig on that regard. I don't think he uses a modded controller or anything like that, but you got to question the legitimacy of these things, you know. I don't know why I've got my headphones on. Like, who's actually going to take this world record thing into account? It's not like a known thing with it. It's quite niche, if I'm not mistaken. It's also not a thing in the game. There are some records like Gnome Targets Challenge, Infinity Time Waves and stuff like that. Those are records you can actually see in the game. This kill record thing seemed like someone who's enough of a no-lifer to actually follow these. Another thing to take into account, these videos are like 4 years old. I think coming up to 5 years actually. Not only could Wolfy's mind have changed, but people didn't think now the same way they thought back then. Maybe because back then they actually played the game and didn't just wank off stat websites. Anyway, we proceed.
You should listen to my videos, either Beanie's videos, Whipping Boy's videos. We know what we're talking about. My tier lists and my rankings I discuss with all the top players in the world.
Who the hell gives a f about the top players in the world? Also, Wolfy has been playing the game for a long time, so he definitely has a good insight on it. I don't know how long Piig's been playing for, But Wolfy knows about the character that got nerfed and buffed and whatever, because obviously lots of balance changes over the years. But obviously the Nether's done now since they're not supporting the games anymore.
Now, I still see these videos have a big impact on the Garden Warfare 2 community, which I think is really unfortunate because he's kind of just spreading misinformation. I think.
I'm sorry, misinformation? You're actually going to give examples rather than just, oh, this guy's... If he's like listing off incorrect facts, I can see what we're talking about, but he's definitely not the most guilty of that. Chump sizzle. Saying a certain character the best when you don't think it is not spreading misinformation.
Saying that Pylon Imp and Shrimp are the worst imp, and the Shrimp mech is the best playable thing in the game, if you don't know.
Yeah, no it isn't. Regular mech's better. I can see why you'd say Shrimp mech, and I do really enjoy the character and the mech myself, but I don't know what's his motive for putting Shrimp mech way up there. I have a feeling it's to do with the fact you can speed ghost with it, which I think shouldn't count because you're not supposed to do it. And I maintain that. I maintain the same for stuff like rapid fire tech, beam jumping, that sort of shit. It pisses off Level Federation as well, which is a bonus. Yeah, Reg Mech wins for me just because Missile Madness and his primary is really good as well. And the Stomp's not too shabby either. Also, Shrimp Mech doesn't last long enough.
And outside of the mech, Shrimp is still a top 10 zombie. Again,
really?
Like, I don't need to go over this, but everyone knows it's not 2021 anymore where everyone thought Barbecue Corn and Electro Citron were bad characters. They're good characters.
So you're basically self-aware that these are old videos, and in that case, why are you still complaining about them?
Same with Cosmic Brains. Like, if you still think Cosmic Brains is bad, you're just bad.
I mean, Wolfy did say on the stream recently he still likes to slander Cosmic Brains just to piss people off, which I very much appreciate. Also, on a recent members-only stream that I had access to at that point that I don't anymore, Wolfy said that he thinks Breakfast Brains is worse than Cosmic Brains.
One, this is the first thing that comes up, so it's...
Oh well, most popular YouTuber comes up first. Oh, how terrible.
Plain out wrong. It's wrong. It's not correct. It's not an opinion, it's fact. Twilight Chomper came out 5 years ago, so if you don't know...
Okay, this bit I do agree with him on. Wolfy putting Hover ahead of Twilight is definitely one of the worst placements. Twilight was quite new around that time, so Wolfy didn't really have the time to play it much. So I thought he should have done that more, really. He did have him and all that. People do think Hover is actually one of the worst jumpers, which I think is just laughable. But yeah, Twilight's like easily the best. Then I'd probably say Fire, then Hot
So
Rod.
run Burrow on him if you really want.
Oh, this way he's going through stat websites and shit.
Twilight still the fastest character. Another one is the computer scientist. So the only reason he thinks he's the best scientist is because he has a legendary meter. Can this...
So I guess you missed the part in that video where he said he likes him because of his reload as well.
And two, because computer scientist literally is the marine biologist. He just has a legendary mode and he reloads quicker. In fact, computer scientist reloads so fast, he basically has infinite ammo.
Computer scientist is a great character, but he is far from the best scientist.
He is, though, is he?
Paleontologist is better because he had...
Yeah, no way. I mean, I like paleontologists and all, but he's not as, for lack of a better term, explosive as many of the others. This is something you've heard Wolfy say before, probably. He's quite a jack of all trades of scientists. I mean, his range game is actually quite good, especially given he's got 5 and splash. But yeah, computer over paleo any day.
Really good. Reload, but...
Computer scientists have the second fastest reload in the game. How can that possibly be a thing you praise paleontologist for?
Computer scientist might be like the 3rd or 4th best scientist, but paleontologist has much better range and the fire damage support. And then the best zombie in the game is the astronaut, arguably.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
He has...
Yeah, I think astronaut's kind of overrated. Like, if someone gets close to him, he's pretty easy to take out, especially because he's not good with groups.
DPS, based off of DPS, DPS is not everything. Now, if we go here to the
DPS isn't everything. Neither is TTK
like
though, is he? Basically uses that as his basis, which yeah, that's also wrong.
Now, if we go to the time to kill calculator, if you use him correctly, if you use a tier 3 charge and then like a tier 1 charge, or not tier 1, tier 2 charge, you could kill like the fastest out of any of the superheroes. Not counting the legendary meters, of course. But
well, you should do, given it's so easy to get for toxic brains.
Try to talk to all the competitive players. I am a competitive player. I play all the characters and I have multiple records.
Once again, it's not competitive games, so that doesn't mean jack shit.
And there's really not that many bad things in this game.
I might have to put this video on 1.5
farm speed,
Plumber actually.
Being the no. Plumber is certainly not the worst engineer. One of the worst characters in the game.
Yeah,
AC
is worse than him.
The electrician are both.
Oh, electrician. LT Darwin agrees with you there. Still can't believe he actually ranked him as the worst zombie. But hey, I'm not going to take shots at actual good Garden Warfare 2 YouTubers, yeah.
be bad. But
Save
again,
my
they're not
energy
bad
for this
characters.
guy.
They're just not bad. There's not. He said Monocrossar is the worst All-Star. Again, he didn't do his research.
That one I think Wolfy definitely gave a fair ranking to, because he played both him and Wrestling Style on Moonbase C. He was only on the first point, the plants never got past. I did far better with Wrestling Style, so that just kind of shows he's better than Motocross at least.
Z7 Imp, that's fine. Like, that character's really good. Mechanic, that's fine. EP, that's fine. You know, these videos are harmless, again, but
No, he actually agrees with
really-
me, I'm surprised by that.
really videos
thought it was
as
a lore
facts, and
piece
the fact
then.
that people really impact these videos as facts, and the past few years, people like other YouTubers agree with him on all this when he really.
Maybe they have to share his opinion on some of these, you know. That was another thing worth mentioning. zeroxfusionz tier lists are very similar to Wolfy's, and he doesn't seem to get nearly as much hate for them as Wolfy does. I think Zero's are a lot worse as well.
Did not do any research. He just looked at the character selection tree and went, I don't like this one, and then chose it.
Well, like I said, he's been playing the game for a hell of a long time, so he would know. A few of them did seem like he had a few knowledge gaps, like worst characters, for example, since he doesn't play the class much.
Isatron, like, how's Isatron the worst? He's one of the better ones.
Yeah, no, he isn't. There's no way Electro Citron's better than Reg, Party, and Iron.
Toxicitron is easily the worst. Archaeologist is not
Yeah,
the worst
Toxic is-
scientist. He has
Yeah,
random
Toxic is the
opposing-
worst.
Wolfy even said it in the video.
He kind of
which
is,
I
though.
don't understand. He just wanted to say he was the worst one, and then
No, he just said that all the scientists are good, but Archaeologist was the worst one. Given that you're complaining at him for doing a lot of research, it does seem like you haven't really watched these videos properly and just getting mad at the first one he's picked. Also, yeah, I've done my research on you, and that's how I came to the conclusion that you always have 5 people posting you on your self-proclaimed world record videos. Oh, and here's him stream sniping me in my recent stream. He's literally switching teams to make sure he's always against me, and yeah, so if he says he's changed, don't believe him.
Fire Rose. No, it's Druid Rose or Party Rose. Again, not
Yeah, I
saying
think
that
Fire's
because
worse than
I'm
both.
saying they're bad. I'm saying by literal stats, if you look at the projectile speed.
By literal stats. Once again, there's more to character than just what a stat website tells you. Maybe, I don't know, play the game and see for yourself. I mean, he does say he has played it, so fairs, I guess. That's more the criticism in general. Like, for example, with Chemist, he ain't good by stats because his kill time's not that good compared with the Scientist, but the fact he can catch so many people in his gun at once and deal with crowds, that's what makes him good. Yeah, stats don't tell you
of the
everything.
Druid Rose. You could literally see the bullets coming at you, and you could dodge them. It's 2 meters per second. It's awful. And again, this is the uncharged shots, I think. But
I mean, the charge shots are still really slow for 5 those, so that feels like you're skipping out information just to suit your
Druid Rose
narrative.
is not a good character.
I do agree with that in general. Like, Wolfy does overrate the hell out of the roses.
You know, I just wanted to make this video because I see it all the time. People saying characters are bad still, and try not to let these influence you. Do your research if you really want to rank a character and make a tier list. Don't just go off what other people say.
Or maybe do what you want because you shouldn't care what other people think, and definitely shouldn't care about videos like this.
Use actual stats. Don't be biased. I try not to. I'm not biased on my tier list. I go by actual facts.
Ew, I go by actual facts, so that's why you should listen to me and all of my chosen bum buddies.
I don't like whenever people say they don't like a certain character and then they only say the character's bad because they don't know how to play as the character, or if they just think the character is not very good because they don't have the right upgrades on or they don't know how to use the character. But I hope you guys enjoyed this
So you
video.
basically just said the same thing twice
You
then.
guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.
No, I didn't. As you can tell from this. So final thoughts. I think the video is god-awful. Honestly, this is ruining the community more than someone having different opinions to you. These sort of videos are just adding to the perception that the community is toxic as hell. I don't think people really take those videos into account much anymore anyway. It seems like nowadays the meta is like just go off what stat websites saying and what the quote-unquote best players think, which are clearly self-proclaimed in this case by a couple of egomaniacs. So yeah, overall, clickbaited title, dumb concept. And my final words are that there's a reason he's the biggest Garden Warfare 2 content creator. Because his videos are actually fucking entertaining and aren't trying to shit on other people for having different opinions to you. Bye.